Traveler, you haven't by chance seen an Argonian by the name of Adema pass through here, have you?
On your mind?
Or a bald Nord named
I was
Orsic?
just wondering if you had any family.
No.
Damn, I was afraid you'd say that. We were supposed to meet in Shorestone weeks ago.
The three of us were explorers, trying to find a safer passage through the Gerol Mountains. There were rumors of a trail south of Bloodlet Throne, so we decided to take a look. We tried to keep a sense of where we were, but it was easy to get disoriented. Dima blamed the snowstorm. None of us wanted to admit that we were lost. But then the snow stopped, as if Kain herself lent her hand and brushed it aside. It was then that Orsic pointed to something in the distance, a light. An old cottage, resting right on the edge of the mountain.
What can I do for you?
An odd place for anyone to live, but that wasn't the strangest thing. All that snow, and there wasn't a speck of it on that roof. In fact, the whole place just appeared out of thin air. That's what I tried to tell them, but the fools went in anyway. That's right. There's a lot of value in finding faster, safer trade routes. Not just mountain paths, either. Sometimes a tunnel will save you the trouble of climbing it. You'd be surprised what you find when you stop and look around.
What can I do for you?
Do you have any good wines?
Sure. I got a clean mug around here somewhere.
But roads cost a lot of money to maintain. Dirt trails are much cheaper. That's right. Not just... You'd be surprised what you find when you... I know. The three of us were prepared for that kind of death. But whatever was in that cottage was something else entirely. Best not to go there, Traveler. Not if you value your life.
The buzzards, they swoop. And that's a good word to remember, friend.
What? Nakast! What? Nakast!
This be?
Why, it's obvious, Mr. Hawker. This one must be looking for his friends.
I'm sorry, Mr. Skiver. I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't tell me you haven't heard about the Argonian and the Nord who walk into an empty house.
Sounds like a bad joke.
What sort of joke, Mr. Wolf?
The worst kind. The unfunny kind.
Maybe that's why he's not laughing.
No, he doesn't know it. It's up to us to tell him.
Very well. An Argonian and a Nord walk into an empty house.
Except it's not a joke, and the house wasn't empty.
But now it is. They stole it, you see. A book.
A one-page book.
It's called a scroll.
A very old scroll. Find it, and you will get your heart's desire.
Is it riches?
Probably.
Fame?
Definitely.
It told of their coming, and it told of their going. But neither could happen without the opposite.
2 thieves, 1 scroll.
2 birds, 1 stone.
You will strike from above when they are upside down. You will dig into the soil and push yourself to the sun.
He speaks of a place with a tree reaching high into the ground, and a drink that reaches higher than that.
White Run, ask the innkeeper. She knows.
Colovian Ale. Remember the name.
Know it.
Own it.
Tell them the gods brought you there for a reason.
A very good reason.
No reason at all.
What do you need?
Whoa! Well met, Kinsman.
Welcome.
You
Let
have
me know
come.
if you want anything.
You have come to hear the
Think I got a clean mug around here somewhere?
If it's a lady you're looking for, you best look elsewhere. Once Mikhail gets them, they're got.
If it's work you need, how about chopping up some wood for the fires? I enjoy this work well enough, but I'm ready to retire. I've been thinking of selling the inn to Isolda. Anyway, what do you need? You want a drink? Think I got a clean mug around here somewhere.
I'm a bard by trade. Perhaps you've heard of me.
What can I get you? Hungry, tired, or just plain thirsty? Need anything else? Just let me know.
I don't have much of a reputation in Skyrim yet, but I'm working on that. One sweet lady at a time.
Yes. I did.
You're a tough one. Don't know anyone else who'd drink that swill. Well, anyone besides me. It's terrible, but it hits all the right spots. You know, if you're the adventurous type, maybe you can help me out. I've got a job I need help on. Real suicide mission. Most jobs I take are. After all, there's a reason they call me Ignar the Lucky. Alright then. Simple. Every job I've ever done, no one's made it out alive but me. Doesn't matter how easy the job or how tough the warrior, it never fails. First time it happened, they said I was the lucky one, hence the name. Oh yeah, I'm still alive, and that's a hell of a lot better than being dead. Because that stuff will kill you. I'm half hoping it does. I'll finally meet the one thing luckier than I am. Sure, once got hired to clear out a bandit fort with some mage. We took them all out, save for some archer who was hiding up in the tower. I told the mage I'd go up and get him just to be safe. This mage wouldn't listen. He said he could take the archer out with one shot. He was right. He lit that bandit up with the biggest fireball I've ever seen. The archer, though, he manages to stumble off the tower, and sure enough, lands right on the mage. Alright. I once did a job with a companion named ᵯᴑᴆᴆᴇᴆ. Now, a lot of smart people refuse to work with me, but even more think of it as a challenge, which is fine by me, not my neck that's on the line. ᵯᴑᴆᴆᴆ was famous for killing bears. Extermination jobs is what he called them. So he asked me to help him clear a bear out of some shack. He doesn't even need my help, just wants to prove a point. Same thing that always happens. We go in there and it takes all of 2 seconds for him to smash the bear's skull in. I just stood there looking like an idiot. Never seen anything like it. ᵯᴑᴆᴆᴆ comes over and pats me on the back. He says, "See, there's no such thing as bad luck." Only he never finished the sentence. Stepped on a bear trap the owner placed near the entrance. Took off half his leg. Well, I don't want to scare you off, but we're supposed to raid a giant camp. Good. You're gonna need to be a little crazy if you want to make it out of this alive. Well, supposedly some fool is holed up in Sleeping Tree Cave, with something more valuable than all the golden dragons reach. Dead or alive, our job is to relieve him of his belongings. Okay. The night might give us some cover. I'm not much for sneaking though, so fair warning.
With answers comes knowledge. But with knowledge
You have come.
comes ignorance.
Hear the word of Talos.
If it's work you need, how about chopping up some wood for the fires?
Another curious mind, is it? Come to August to find the answers to all life's riddles. Why does any man seek the comforts of a bottle? Because he's a fool who believes in the lies it spins. So, what is it you want to know? The answer to life's most difficult questions. Or perhaps... No one knows what the next life holds. No one knows how to make love stay. Perhaps I see only darkness, 'cause the world itself is doomed. What is it? You again? Why can't you people leave me alone? I'm no longer a scryer.
Shiny trinkets for your good lady, all crafted by the great Aorlan Greymane himself.
Ah, my mistake then. Sometimes the older you are, the more you assume. Oh, you think you know all the answers, so you close your eyes and walk the world blind.
All crafted by the best blacksmith in Skyrim.
Yes, I was once the court scryer for the Jarl of Markarth. Few in power still believe in the practice, but the Reach has always been a place where the old magics were welcome. They said I could see time itself, like a map laid across my table. Because for all my visions and supposed wisdom, I failed to see my daughter joining the forsworn rebels. Despite all my fame and respect, I never saw the strain it would put on my marriage.
Shiny trinkets for your good lady.
A scryer looks into the unknown, but it would be a mistake to call them fortune tellers. When a drought plagues the land, they will tell the farmers when it will rain. And when a loved one dies, they provide to them a glimpse of their last words. Past or future, living or dead. Our role is to assuage men's fear, relieve people of their anxiety. As such, a scryer is, in many ways, a priest. I don't know. I can't even tell you if they're alive. All my visions have gone dark.
Shiny trinkets for your good lady.
I could,
All crafted by the
but I
great
fear such a
Aorlan
confrontation could result in her
Greymane
death.
himself.
Still, the thought is tempting. I am best known for being retained by the king in rags, and for predicting his downfall.
Blacksmith in Skyrim.
When Madanak took the throne, I told him in 2 years' time a bear would come to reclaim it. Amused, he kept me in his court so that I could witness my own folly. The irony is that the scryers like myself make use of the old magic, the very one the Bretons espouse. But I never told him this, lest he take my words seriously.
Shiny
You're a
trinkets
persistent
for
one,
your
aren't you?
good lady.
Very well. Perhaps it is time I embrace the unknown.
Slaying the nearest won't go down in any tome, but I'll remember it for as long as I live. There is already someone with you. I don't want to get in your way, or theirs. Goodbye.
Man was granted wisdom, so he may know his own folly. Because, like most young people, she mistakes idealism for virtue. Well, she believes that the Forsworn Rebellion
will let Bretons have a home, free from the Nord's tyranny. But that is just a fool's fantasy. There will never be a time when the two sides live in harmony. They will always be oppressed. The only thing that will change is the face of their oppressors. Young people want a perfect world, never realizing that the perfect world will always be the enemy of the real one. It means precisely that. Will you spend your entire life trying to make water into wine? Or will you earn the money to buy it? Take what you need. I have nothing of consequence.
I know not where the road goes. I only follow your lead.
I know this. Surviving every fight toughens you up. Some people get dealt a hand like this, they change jobs. Me, I use it to my advantage. Should have figured something like this would happen. Just my luck. This Argonian isn't the guy. I know because, well, he's the one who hired me. And judging by the arrow in his chest, it wasn't any giant that killed him. Don't know who killed him, but I know what killed him. It was working with me. That's why I always ask for two things. Pay up front, and next of kin. Now I just gotta find this Bilbus and deliver the news. Are you sure about that? Sure you ain't working for someone else? Because the people who live, they always are. Don't matter much to me, though. Like I said, so long as I live, it counts as a break. Going to Robert's Refuge. That's where the Ogonian said his friends are. Might stick around and see if I can't get some more work. Yeah.
You're back. It seems he's suffering from an irregular heartbeat.
It ticked when it should have talked.
And it talked when it should have ticked.
Now it's come to a full stop.
Yes, that is most irregular. An arrow to the chest? Likely, but there are other explanations.
No good ones.
For instance, the giant could have been using this arrow as a fork.
That's a terrible explanation.
Or a toothpick?
Have you seen their teeth?
Very well. We'll just have to assume the Argonian was killed by the Nord. This is turning out to be a very bad joke indeed.
The worst kind. The unfunny kind.
In any case, when one looks north, one must first be south, and there lies the answer. Winterhold or Riften, wisdom or prophet, explorer or thief. Who was this Nord really? Then he wishes to share his find with the world. His motives point northward, to the College of Winterhold. That's where you'll find him.
Yes?
Did you need something? I don't have much time. My presence is required back in ᵯᴑᴆᴆᴇᴆ. I was informed by a person I trust that an explorer named ᵯᴑᴆᴆᴇᴆ had come into possession of an Elder Scroll and wished to donate it to the temple. I have come to collect the scroll and verify its authenticity. It was not just a cheap imitation, but a dangerous one. A man with good intentions who made a poor decision. Worse yet, he claims one of his associates died in the process of retrieving this scroll, although he didn't specify how. He said it was being used by some cult, led by 3 men blinded by the scroll's light. Apparently, that's what convinced him the scroll was real. But if these men were blind, it was not the scroll that took away their sight. Yes, I'm sure. After all, the scroll was blank. And while metaphorically, that may be indicative of our future, in this case, it's safe to say it was a hoax. I'm not entirely sure. He started mumbling incoherently and accused me of lying. Then he went on a rant about going south to go north. Explorers do have a strange way with directions. Well, at first I thought he was going to sell it to thieves. But he mentioned a mage in Morrowind. I offered to pay for a carriage, but he insisted on staying off the main road. South, to a place called Tollwald's Crossing. Looking at the map, I found a Tollwald's cave in the rift. So, my guess would be to start there.
May your next fight bring you victory, friend. Archmage or not, my rules about books still stand. Until next time.
Mages are always in pursuit of outside knowledge. It's no wonder they know so little about themselves. To the gods, we are nothing more than near-sighted beasts.
despise brawls. Problems should be solved with reason, not fists. Until the darkness swallows us all. I very felt that. I'll walk you all into the light.
With answers comes knowledge. But with knowledge comes ignorance.
Not in the face. The future promises nothing, save your death. I felt that. Fight them!
A horker, a skeever, and a wolf walk into an empty cabin. The horker says this is a fine place to live. The skeever says this is a good place to hide. But the wolf, he knows this is the site of his next meal. That would definitely be a bad joke, but it'd be on you if you want your reward, because I can't pay you now. Not when Skeever hid the gold. Just a con man. Me and Skeever, we got this idea to make an Elder Scroll. It was easy fishing. You promise men the future and they come with gold. Horker was the mark, I was the muscle, Skeever was the artist. He turned out to be a thief. Of course, he wasn't the only one. We'd write things on the scroll that'd make Horker do our bidding, like hire mercs to attack a caravan or thieves to steal a gem. We just about bled him dry, so it was time for a new mark. Skeever gets the idea to use the scroll to lure the fish. He changes the paper and writes something about two of Horker's noble friends, a Nord and an Argonian, coming to the cabin the next night. But before Horker could send out the courier letter, those two idiots decided to show up. Horker thinks they're here to see the scroll. He shows it to both of them. Next morning, them and the scroll's gone. My guess is Skeever hired them. No such thing as a coincidence. Either way, it didn't matter. It was time for the wolf to eat. No, it's an alchemist trick. A drink that whites your eyes. Of course, with Horker, we went a step further. Now that's a good question. Horker said the scroll gave him a vision of a cabin in the mountains, but it wasn't anything Skeever wrote down. Although Skeever could have lied. You can't trust a con man. Of course, only he knows the truth. Yeah, the clever bastard thought if he hid the gold I'd spare him. But I'm no fool. You, though? I owe you something for playing along. Won't be riches, won't be fame. But you play nice and you'll get it. And if you found the scroll, you can keep that too. Find the next mark. It was only a matter of time before Skeever crossed me. Only a matter of time before I killed him for doing it. I guess I'll just have to wait and see. Who knows? Maybe we'll run into each other again.
What now?
I feel like living it up.
Yes? Need something?
Yeah.
Need something. With 3 beers down, the orc did frown and bid the elf goodbye.
Yeah. Took the news well. It's almost like his friend was better off dead. I've been to better. It's too drafty for one thing. But I suppose it's a good change of pace. What is it?
I do nothing.
Can I help you?
Cheers, my friends. May your adventures find you fame and fortune.